Hello, people. Welcome to NC Nation. And I'm here with a good partner of mine, Critical Red.
What's up?
And I'm your host, Mr. Toussaint. And make sure to check out our channels after you watch this video, because after this video, you guys are want to go check out our videos. But in this first video, we are going to be talking about the Daredevil Netflix series, Season 1. So, Critical, you want to give the people who are watching this a little bit of background on Daredevil for people who have been living under a rock or whatever. They haven't really checked out Daredevil for a while.
Yeah, but as you know, a lot of you have been waiting for it, and it's here. Daredevil, the Netflix series Daredevil is far better than the 2003 movie. Like, I feel like Daredevil was always a character where was a character in Marvel where, like, his supporting cast, you'd always have to, like, flesh him out, like, because with Daredevil, I mean, a lot of his characters, like, really have, like, strong backstories, so I feel like it was, like, you really have to flesh out a lot of characters, so I feel like a TV show was a good way to present Daredevil in the MCU.
People who don't know who Daredevil is, he's a Marvel vigilante character who has been created by Stan Lee himself, of course. As it shows in the Netflix series, when he was a boy, about I would say 9 years old, if I remember correctly, he saved an old man when he was on the street, and suddenly a big tar of chemicals went into his eyes and somehow blinded him. But it gave him kind of a gift. It didn't destroy his life or anything. Most of his life he just felt like alone and stuff. But he was actually born, well, not born, but I should say gifted, you know. So basically, after he was blinded, he actually learned how to, you know, he didn't see like others.
The toxic waste, it actually gave him, like, superhuman abilities to have, like, kind of like a radar sense.
But he could hear everything, like everything around him, like fire trucks, cats, dogs, even his next door neighbors. And not only that, he could hear people's heartbeats. He could hear people breathing. All of that, his senses were heightening, because, you know, if you lose one sense, of course your other senses are going to be heightened.
And actually it was because he had powers. It's because, like, the toxic chemicals, like, heighten his senses, like, to a superhuman level.
But even though if you lose any of your senses, you wouldn't have super senses, but your senses would be heightened just a little bit, but not as much as Daredevil's. But yes, his real name is Matt Murdock. Just to let you guys know, we just reference him as Daredevil. But yes, so in the show.
One thing I always liked about Daredevil was that he goes against the law at night, but he's always with the law during the day as a lawyer. So he's basically fighting crime in two different ways: as a lawyer and as a vigilante.
And you gonna explain, like, how that you know, shows that in the Netflix series?
So in the Netflix series, like, what it does, especially with Karen, like, in the first episode, it shows how, like, he uses his senses as a lawyer. Like, he can actually tell if people are lying or not through their heartbeats, like hearing their heartbeats to, like, an extensive level. So he basically, like, at night, he can basically, like, as a lawyer, he can basically, like, tell if the person's lying. And if they are set free, like, during, like, the trial or whatever, he goes back out at night and beats the shit out of them, like that guy that basically killed himself because, remember, like, he said Fisk's name. So you remember that episode, right?
I remember that episode, and for all you people, I just finished the series, actually. But yeah, the way they actually express how he can sense people's heartbeats, it's actually pretty cool. But at first, it was kind of creepy to me, but I was like, whoa, that is awesome. But you should have seen the way, what's his name? What's his name? Oh, Foggy. The way he reacted, like, we're gonna explain that further in. But yes, so throughout, like, a couple episodes, I would say episode 1 to maybe around episode maybe 4 or 5, I would say around there. I'm just estimating from what I've seen. It basically shows flashbacks of Matt Murdock's story when he was a boy. Mostly when he was a boy. I mean, they did show an episode when he was in college, but that was just an episode relating to something else. But yes, mostly they showed his backstory on how he learned how to use his senses and how to, you know, read by touching the fingerprints on paper and feeling what letters they are, you know. And they showed his father. What's his first name again? I totally forgot. I don't know how.
I think it's Jack Murdock, right?
Jack Murdock, correct us if we're wrong, but yeah, Jack Murdock, he was a boxer. His father did not want him to be a fighter, not at all. His father just didn't want him to go into the violence at all, even before he was blind. But it seems like father like son, it takes up. You know what I mean? But instead, he's actually like winning his fights most of the time. But most of the time, he would get his ass kicked. But that's just making the show way more intense than usual. Because most shows.
There's something I also want to know in the comments, because in the comics and the TV shows, Kingpin actually killed Daredevil's dad. But they don't really show it that much. It doesn't really feel like that in the show, because in the show it just feels like, because Daredevil didn't like take down Kingpin because he killed his father. He just took down Kingpin because he was trying to like basically destroy the city, but in his vision make it better. So leave a comment down below, because I don't know if Kingpin really killed Daredevil's dad in this universe. So yeah.
Well, if we were going through like comic related situations where there are some differences, there is going to be a lot of major differences between the comics and the actual like TV show or the series on CW or Netflix, whatever. But like between the two, give us your opinion, guys. But I want to ask Critical. What do you think? Like, do you like it better when Kingpin actually kills Matt's dad, or do you like it better the way it is? Like, you just don't know how he died. Like, it was just a mystery. Like, I don't know if they actually reference it how he died, but if I'm wrong, then correct me. But if I'm right, then do you like it better this way? Like the way the Netflix series does it.
Alright, yep. Alright, so let's move on to the next side. We're gonna talk about like the action in this show, like the fighting. Like, what did you think of the fighting?
Tell you the truth, man, I actually really loved it. Like, the best fighting I've ever seen in my entire life. I really like it. Has so much feel like if you can just go out there and fight crime for real, even though you shouldn't. There are real people doing that, which they should not. I mean, it's brave that you guys are doing this, but why? The way they show it in the
costume, like the costume he wears, it looks like you could just get that shit from eBay and just wear it and then just go out into the streets. That's what it looks like.
Well, that's basically what he did. Like, he even referenced it. Oh, I just bought these clothes from online. He was like, what, you don't know how to sew? Yeah, Matt Murdock, a lawyer / vigilante, knows how to sew. I mean, Spider-Man, like Peter Parker, knew how to sew. Most superheroes or vigilantes know how to sew, but I'm guessing Matt didn't learn because he's mostly either like he was blind most of his life. So you think he's gonna learn how to sew?
I like how you're right. I like how at the end of the second episode when he went to go save that kid, I like how it took forever for him to take out like all those crooks. That shows that this show is really realistic in a fighting aspect. Like,
I feel like with Arrow, even though I haven't like caught up on it, guys, but but I feel like Arrow mostly wins all of his fights, even though he was trained by an assassin kind of like Deathstroke, but still I feel like he won most of all his fights. He didn't really put up a challenge at all. I mean, it would sometimes put up a challenge, but not most of the time. With Daredevil, it actually took him a while to take out his enemies. Especially, I like it when somebody pulls out a gun like a police officer, and then he's like standing there, he's acting like he's about to get arrested, but instead he knocks them out. He lures them in. I like that because he uses his senses to actually do that, and that's why I love. It's so realistic. Even though throughout the entire season, throughout the entire season, besides the last episode of the season, episode 13, they actually show his new outfit, which I completely love a lot. I love the red and black on there. The red mostly like can stop a knife, while the black can actually like stop like a lot of powerful punches, and I don't know about gunshots. I don't know if they reference anything about gunshots, how it can stop gunshots, but I'm guessing it cannot stop it that much, but it can probably stop it quite a bit, like nothing that can penetrate the skin.
Yeah, so alright, so let's go. Alright, so I also wanted to talk about the Kingpin, because this Kingpin is really different from the one.
Oh, thank God you're right. I was just about to actually say we should talk about Kingpin. Kingpin. I can't even say his name. But yeah, let's talk about Kingpin, shall we? Because we really need to talk about Kingpin, because there's a lot about him. So you guys better like get some popcorn or something, because you guys are gonna get in for a treat. Because Kingpin is nothing like he is in the comics or like anywhere I've ever seen before, because I've seen many Kingpins, and let me just tell you, this Kingpin is so different. Critical, explain a little bit about his life, and I'm going to go into some details about him now.
Alright, so it seems like this Kingpin is more like a psychological Kingpin. Like, you could see his scar, like his mental scars and shit. But another thing, this Kingpin, he's also kind of like socially awkward. Like when somebody is talking to him, like he doesn't know how to respond. respond. Like the Kingpin in the cartoons, he's all like cocky, and shit. But this Kingpin, he's more like somebody that just had like a fucked up life growing up, and then he just wants to come over here and make a difference. It's not like the one in the comics and the TV shows. It's completely different. Like,
just to let you guys know, the reason why this Kingpin it turned out like right now, I don't know if it's because how the comics show it, but in this, it would seem like when he was 12 years old, he actually killed his own stepdad. His stepdad has always been treating him like a tough guy. He thinks like
was that his stepdad or his real dad?
That it was his stepdad. He actually referenced that because his mom actually married, I think, around 2 husbands or maybe 1. I forgot, but I know it was his stepdad because they actually heard it when they were talking, when the Karen and Ben were actually talking to his mom. But yeah, he killed his stepdad out of rage, not because of his mom, because his stepdad was beating his mom for some known reason. I forgot, but I know for a fact that he killed him by beating him, bludgeoning him in the head with a hammer over and over again, and his mom had to cover up his murder. So yeah, that was pretty intense. And let me just say, after all of that, he became just Kingpin we know today. We don't know much about him like when he was growing up, but all we know is that he did some horrible stuff when he was a child.
Yeah. Another thing I like to point out, like, remember how his dad told him to look at that, like, told him to look at the wall with all of those, like a fucked up wall with all, like, it looked like basically like weird patterns in the wall. I liked how when he got arrested, he like when he was in jail in the last scene, he looked at the exact same wall. That shows that he's ready next time. And I feel like
his childhood was so messed up. I mean, of course his stepdad told him to do the same thing over and over, and he did it even before he went to prison. So of course he's gonna. I mean, he even kept his stepdad's cufflinks for his suit, whatever it was. But yeah, I don't think he loved his stepdad, not at all. I just feel like he just like admired how tough he was, making him tough, but he also did not like about him how he was treating his mom like he was just like his own, like he didn't treat him like a real father should or a real husband should. So
yeah, exactly. So Kingpin is really different in the show. Once you watch it, you'll see what we're talking about. But
also he's not as fat.
Yeah, he's not as fat. Yeah, he looks a little bit, and he looks really hard to knock out. Like if you were fighting this guy face to face, like it looked like I couldn't even tell you. But let's talk about some side characters that were in this show. Like we're not gonna go fully in depth with them because they're not the main characters. Let's just talk about some side characters like the detective Ben Urich. So what do you think?
I really have nothing to say about Ben. I mean. For people, for spoilers, just to let you guys know, if you guys haven't watched the Netflix series yet, I would suggest go watching it before you watch this review video. But yeah, Ben does die because well, first I'm going to explain a little bit about him. He is more of a reviewer, well, not reviewer, I should say, a reporter, that's what I should say. I don't know why, but yeah, reporter, yeah. So he reports a lot of stuff, and most of the time he's reporting stuff about the guy in the black mask, which, just to let you guys know, he doesn't become Daredevil until the end of the episode of the season, because they didn't feel like doing it. I actually like it like that, because I don't know why, I just feel like a hero who doesn't become like the actual hero, like do you think they should have done it if they like made a Spider-Man series? Do you think they should have shown like not just call him Spider-Man like right off the bat? They think that Peter should just like dress up like in a kind of like scrubby outfit first and then beat up bad guys?
I feel like they tried doing that with the Amazing Spider-Man 1, but it was too rushed, and that costume looked it just looked like a regular guy, but with just like a red ski mask.
Yeah, but I'm going a little off topic. But yes, yeah, Ben Urich, he's just basically a reporter, but then he got caught by the Kingpin because Ben was talking to his mom at a retirement home, and he thought he was making fun of his mom. So Kingpin suddenly appears at his house, and then he strangles him. Yeah, Kingpin basically like talks to the person, like he talks to him calmly. Then as soon as like he gets them all worked up and filled up with fear, bam, he strikes. Kingpin just literally strikes, and then he chokes them, kills them, whatever he does them. He does that to a lot of his allies in the show, basically. But yeah, it's really intense. And okay, now next character I'm gonna next two characters, I don't want to drag this on too long, is Karen and Foggy. So Critical, I'm gonna let you take this one.
Alright, yeah, so Karen and Foggy, they're basically, well, Karen was accused of doing like some type of like bullshit crime of killing somebody. But yeah, and then like basically what happened was that like Matt, she was able to be released from, you know, prison and shit. She was able to like become a lawyer with Matt and Foggy. So that's basically her.
Actually, she became a secretary, not really a lawyer. Just
Foggy's character, he's basically been Matt's. Yeah, like an assistant lawyer, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I really don't know a lot about that shit, but yeah, Foggy, he's basically been Matt's, like they went to law school together. He's basically been Matt's homie since like, yeah, since like back in the day. So that's how where their friendship just carries on, and yeah, that's basically all you have to know about it. Like Foggy and Karen, they're just as supporting they're just supporting characters to Matt. So what you got?
Yeah, their friendship starts to take a little bit of a turn after Foggy finds out that Matt is actually the guy in the black mask, or known as Daredevil. Yeah, they know each other since college, and they always wanted to have dreams, and their dream was to become partners in crime. Well, I don't mean like crime. I mean like law crime, like basically attorneys. They wanted to become attorneys together in their own office and stuff like that. So yeah, that's basically how it turned out. But yeah, now they're friends again. So Foggy knows that he's Daredevil.
So I just wanted to talk about like the Stick episode in general. Just talk about Stick in that whole episode, because that episode. That was
okay, talk about Stick and the two gangs that Daredevil was facing, and some of the crime bosses besides Kingpin, like the guys who he was working, like the Russians and stuff like that. And then we're gonna pretty much end it off at that.
Yeah. So what Stick is, he was basically Matt's like mentor, and then yeah, so he, if you guys didn't know, he's actually a member of an organization named the Chaste, and the other organization that Daredevil was actually like going up against, like in the show, like the Red Ninja guy, his name's Nobu, and he's a member of the Hand. If all of you guys didn't know, for all you guys that don't know your comic shit that well, yeah.
Alright, yeah, so basically, it's not just Kingpin, guys. I was about to say the guy in the black mask. No, Daredevil basically faces a bunch of crime bosses that work with Kingpin or fear the Kingpin. Basically, a Russian group with a bunch of other gangsters and a bunch of other clan members that Stick is a part of, and
Stick's not part of a Russian group. He's part
of. No. I mean, like
he's
a part of the clan. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying that there were Russian groups in the show. And I said that he was a part of the clan. But yeah, but that's basically how it goes down. And if you guys don't know who Stick is the one who trained Daredevil how to use his senses and trying to make him a warrior. But Stick never really, like, he stopped his training early because Matt kind of like, he kept treating him like a new father to Stick, but Stick just wanted a warrior. He didn't want like a son or be a father figure. So you guys will see that if you guys watch the Netflix series. But okay, I think I'm gonna end it off here because I think that's pretty much all the information that you guys need to know about. So basically, our opinion on this show, I would suggest watching it. It's a good show. If I were to rate it, I would probably give it I would give it a 10 out of 10 just because I want to keep watching. I mean, I actually did not skip too many parts as I thought I would, because I mean, I skipped some parts just in the last 2 episodes just to get over with.
I don't know how Luke Cage. I don't know how the Luke Cage one is gonna be able to compete with it. This was just top notch right here. Like,
we'll think about doing. We will be doing reviews on the Luke Cage series, but let's not talk about it too much right at the moment. We'll probably bring it into the next review topic, which stay tuned, guys, for more reviews and speculations and any type of comic related stuff, mangas and anime or whatever we give it to you guys. This has been NC Nation, and go check out our channels, Critical Red and Mr. T. We both do. I do gaming related videos, and Critical does some comic reviews based on the new comics that are coming out from Marvel and DC. So go check it out. But anyway, we'll see you guys later.